Hello, 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 beautiful souls. Greetings and blessings, and welcome to my channel. It is Alicia back here again with you, Barney Hari 44. And today we're going to do a pick a card. We've got 3 piles, and today we're going to look at energies that you or someone that you're cross-watching for or dealing with, energies and cycles that you're moving from and to. So for pile 1, I forget what this crystal is called, but it's this beautiful green and pink marbled pyramid, 4-sided pyramid. Pile number 2 is this beautiful green aventurine palm stone. And pile number 3 is this lovely bloodstone jasper angel. Gorgeous. And I believe that is from India. So I am going to get started with pile 1 right now. Alrighty, and I'll leave this up here so that we know it's pile 1. Okay, so first we'll look at your tarot cards first, and then we'll do your oracle cards. So the energies in the past, we've got the Watcher. We've got the Page of Pentacles, the Devil, the Hermit, and the Knight of Swords. Okay. And then for the energy that you're moving into, the new cycles, we've got the Evaluator, number 44. Let's put you up here. Death. 4 of Cups. 8 of Pentacles. And the Lovers. And your oracle cards are, ooh, beautiful, multi-dimensional, multiple dimensions, timelines. Be you, don't even try fitting in, which is really, really apt for, the times that we're in right now. This year, astrologically, big stuff is happening. Like, if you check into anything, you know. If you know, you know. Mother Rose, returning to each other, compassion, humanity. I'm seeing the rise of the divine feminine here. Absolutely. The imagery is just beautiful. Absolutely stunning. At the center, we've got a rose, and it's surrounded by pearls, I think. Diamonds, crystals, jewels. Let's just call it jewels. We've got Gawacha, 64. And the Journeyman, 15. It's kind of reminded me of the Fool, which is interesting. So the message actually is pretty clear, for sure. In the past, there was this and the 8 of Swords just fell out, so I'm actually going to take that as well. There was kind of what I'm getting from the Watcher and the Hermit and the 8 of Swords and the Knight of Swords. These 3, I'm kind of getting being stuck, stagnant, watching, kind of waiting, but not more waiting than patience. So being kind of stuck in an energy where things seem to be moving slow. The Page of Pentacles is the slowest, is a slow moving energy, but it's also the start of something. It's the student. You're just at the beginning of kind of learning something. It's aspected by the devil. So it feels like there's confusion. The Eight of Swords, it's like there's no ability to be able to see the way forward through whatever attachments. Potentially there could have been addiction. I mean, we can be addicted to anything that's not serving us. I heard Gabor Mate saying he used to be addicted to classical music on one of his podcasts. And I remember, I would think it was Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was laughing at him going like, how could you be addicted to classical music? And he was like, well, it wasn't that I was addicted to the music. I was addicted to, it was the dopamine hit of getting the next. Because he was like, as soon as I got the music, then I would have been fine. But I wasn't, because I kept going back for more. So I'm getting this kind of feeling of searching for something, but it not quite coming through. Also being afraid to kind of really look at what's going on, afraid to do shadow work, and having a way out, but not knowing what it is. And in the Hermit energy, it kind of forced whoever this person is, I'm going to say it's you, or maybe it's somebody that you're dealing with, force this inward kind of energy to be with oneself. And in that energy, messages from spirit were coming in, and you were able to look at the things that weren't working for you. I mean, the devil could also be, toxic relationships potentially that you were in. Either relationships to things like, it could be money. With the Page of Pentacles, maybe you felt that you didn't have stability and you couldn't move or you couldn't build, and you were watching out at everybody else, wondering, with the owl there is giving me wisdom. So you're wondering how everybody else mastered this. And you were just finding your way. And that's such an important stage of our evolution. And I'm also noticing that you've got Aquarian energy here with the Page of Pentacles. So I think you had, we all have gifts and we all have talents, but you couldn't see how to move it forward, and it was scaring you and you were stuck in your head a lot. But also what came up was the Knight of Swords, or the Ace of Swords. So in some way, being in hermit mode helped cut some of these cords. What you did with your time, I don't know, but it was grounding and balancing, and it helped give you clarity. Maybe you went on a spiritual quest, maybe you went on a spiritual path, maybe you upped your spiritual practices, maybe you started a new diet, maybe you got healthy or something like that. It could be in any area of life, or it could be an all round, in many areas of life, that it just got to the stage where, some things weren't working for you. And probably, many of us come from backgrounds where it might be, there's a certain worldview, and maybe that didn't suit who you were as a person, because I'm still seeing you as a child, being an Aquarian child, and having something that you wanted to bring forth in the world, but it doesn't look like you had a supportive atmosphere around you to do that. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be childhood, but that's one aspect of it. But you came into recognition that you are a multidimensional being. You had an awakening. I mean, look at this. Look at all the codes going on. Look at the energy around you. The crown chakra. I'm seeing a lot of the blues and the greens. So you got in touch with your heart in this hermit stage. And you were very supported by your guides. There's guides all around you. I'm seeing you as being the rose. You are this beautiful offering. And you're surrounded by jewels. You're surrounded by divinity. You're surrounded by your guides. You're held. And I believe that you did that for yourself also. So whether you were alone in this stage, because hermit energy does tend to be alone. But that might be just, I once had an ex who said to me, I can be alone when I'm next to you. He didn't see a problem with that. And that was not somebody that, you can count on for support, in my case at least anyway. He didn't understand true hermit energy, and neither did I, evidently, at that time. But then I'm seeing this as being like the Fool card. And the Four of Cups, there was just this kind of, not apathy, but I'm seeing it in this case as kind of an acceptance of what was and bringing a death to it, like an ending to it. And that came with the clarity, with the doing your soul work. And your soul work could be like getting healthier, saying morning prayers, learning how to meditate, learning how to, do something from your heart that, lights you up in some way, and putting some discipline towards that. And, as well as having the idea, also moving forward and taking action. So you had to make a decision about, leaving this stuff behind. Again, 44 is in the Kuan Yin divination technique, it's the number for equanimity, for, detachment. So you weren't allowing yourself to be pulled in directions or pulled back into the past, regrets, and you were able to refocus your energy to make the decision which direction to go to, and to put the work in, to start to build, to take your Page of Pentacles and work on it. And you're now at an 8 in this energy. You've got Libra and you've got Pisces. So and Gemini. You're connected to spirit, and you're able to balance not only your own energy, but you're also able to be in giving and receiving mode. You're learning where to appropriately apply your energy. And after the decision, and you deciding which direction you're going in, or where your critical mass of energy is going in. Because look, at the end of the day, I'm not so silly as to believe is like, oh, I've had a spiritual awakening, now I can just drop everything and, do a 180. No, that's not how it works. It's pentacle by pentacle by pentacle. But once you make that decision, you were able to then, because after the decision, after the Lover's energy, and the Lover's also signifies for me to be in that Lover's energy, which means it's Gemini, it's your day to day. But in this case, I'm really feeling you aligning with your own inner child, with spirit, and moving from a heart-centered place with discernment. And again, back to that balancing of the energy, the giving and the taking your rest. And after that is the Chariot, which takes off. So I feel like you're at this really beautiful stage of just having come into knowing of the kind of energy you want to move forward in. And you're working on something. You may not know what your entire, maybe it's not like you had, oh, this is my life purpose. Maybe your life purpose is to live a heart-centered life. And before you were just taught, maybe you were brought up in a very kind of dog-eat-dog world where, it's very competitive and only it's them or me kind of world. And that works in certain situations, but that energy, all energy is divine. But if you just live your life thinking that everybody is going to come out and come for you, and you don't have people around you that in loving energy that you can trust, and that you can be relaxed with and break bread with, because I'm actually seeing this as sitting down and having community and having a family together, whatever that looks like, just people sitting down and breaking bread, having that community whatever it looks like in your situation. Being able to have that and being able to trust that as being this beautiful foundation into the next stage of your journey. It's so, so beautiful. I feel like you very, very likely had a dark night of the soul. You're probably either a star seed or some sort of earth angel. You're very connected to the divine feminine. You've also managed to really balance the masculine and the feminine in your own energy. And when I mean that, I don't, what I mean is you're able to balance your being energy. Just, look here, he's just chilling under the tree, at one with nature, being with his dragon, surrounded by 3 sacred rocks, and just being part of Mother Gaia. Whereas over here, it was more kind of abstract, looking out, and it's good to reflect. I'm also getting moon energy from this. Just the silver is reminding me of like the reflection of the moon, and that reminds me of alchemy. So you were able to alchemize whatever it is that was going on here, and we all come here. We don't come here with we don't incarnate with all the same lessons that we want to work on. So whatever your lessons were, that's what you've been working on, and you've been able to transmute, alchemize, and you've been able to like take your fingers away from your hands away from your eyes, stand up strong and walk ahead. And yeah, congratulations, pile number 1. This is amazing. I'm really happy for you, or whoever you're dealing with or talking about. And I feel like this message is complete. And maybe we'll see you at another reading. I just pulled this one song for you, and I got Rose in Harlem by Tiana Taylor. So that's suggesting to me that in the past over here, you may not have been around people who were opportunistic and predatory, and they were eyeing what you had. And they were kind of trying to hitch their star to your wagon, rather than, kind of making it being more of a reciprocal kind of situationship, whatever the relationship is. So that's all I have for you, pile number 1. So have a great rest of your day, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. And hopefully we'll see you at another reading at another time, if that works for you. Bye. So now I'm going to get into pile number 2. And that was the green adventuring. So the energy that you're coming from, Moon Dancer, number 11. Four of Earth, stability. 5 of Cups, disappointment. 5 of Pentacles, torment. And 2 of Swords, equilibrium. That's the energy that you're moving away from. And the energy that you're moving into, the fairy taleist, which to me actually is really kind of almost the polar opposite of this. This, the moon can be illusions and fears, and this can be, the positive aspect of that, the magic. The Tower. This is the Knight of Swords. That was in pile 1 too. Oh, and the 8 of Earth, 8 of Pentacles. That was in pile, except that was in pile 1 also. So there might be messages from you in pile 1. And this is the 6 of Wands. So the Victory card. I love that. Jupiter energy. Stepping stones. Okay, so your oracle card, stepping stones, 6. Take the next step. Let go of the old paradigm. Fire and water. This is giving me Tafiti vibes. Stillness amidst turmoil. Feel emotional integration. And you can see, obviously there's the volcano in the background. Codes of the seeds. The blueprint is within you. Take the next steps. There. And fairies of the future. How beautiful. Card number 33. Okay, so let's just take a moment to take this. I mean, I think it's pretty clear. You went from being, I'm looking at this one as being stuck, kind of, instead of stability, you were rooted in fear. I don't know, had you been was it childhood trauma? Is it trauma from past lives? But the moon is very, well, in tarot, it's reflective of intuition and fears and illusions, and you have the dark and the light, both animals looking up to the moon. But in this, the dense, if it aspected incorrectly or aspected with lower emotions, an unstable root chakra. That's what's happening. I get it. So there's some trauma. There was some trauma in your root chakra. It was kicking up a lot of fears and illusions. And you were manifesting from that place, unfortunately, at that time. But, knowing what we don't want helps us learn what we do want. Manifesting from that place brought a lot of disappointment and apathy and grief and scarcity. Like the fish, I'm getting the antithesis of the loaves and the fishes. Like you were giving out more and you were just getting no return on your energy, and you couldn't understand why. I'm getting that from the Two of Swords. I love this Two of Swords because they just need to take flight. Normally it's a lady with her heart is crossed and her eyes are closed, or her eyes are blindfolded, and she doesn't know which direction to look in. You were probably raised in some dynamic where you felt left out in the cold, where maybe there was a pecking order in your family and you were the bottom of the barrel in those kind of those pseudo kind of pseudo we all get along here, and we have great fun, and there's potentially a lot of looking like the good family from the outside. I know my mom used to say when I was younger that, my dad was street angel, house devil. So what the world saw outside was nothing compared to what the world saw inside. And I think, that's true. That's true for a lot of us. But when what you present outside is the polar opposite of what's going on inside, that's disharmony and that's a splitting. So you can't really manifest anything, but, when you're in that split energy, it's really, really hard to manifest, to focus, to put all your energy on the thing that you're trying to build. And it's really, they say the opposite of love is fear, not hatred. So when you're fearful in that place all the time, you can't relax. You can't build while you're constantly in defensive mode. You can't build if you can't eat. You can't build if you're tormented. And I'm getting a mental tormenting. And with this, I'm getting potentially some sort of body shaming, whether that came in, we had the whole body positive movement. But, you know, back in the day, we had, you know, the likes of Kate Moss, and everybody wanted to be skinny. So, you know, you could have come from a family where they were obsessed with how things looked and not how things were. And that's the energy that you're coming from. Or maybe you didn't. Maybe you met somebody like that and you entered a marriage that became like that, and suddenly you're just giving and giving and giving. Or maybe it's a friend group, or maybe it's a work group. I don't know. Take it how it resonates for your situation, pile number 2. What it did give you is a picture of what you didn't want. And I think it brought you to a place of like you just stagnancy, and you just had to just stop and really think about, you know, what you wanted for your life. And in that space, in your cocoon, and I think Spirit really, really came in and helped you with this, because I'm seeing a lot of darkness here, and I'm so sorry, pile number 2, that you had to experience that. It looked like you went through a very, very, very dark period. And you were able to step out of it. Because look over here. There's a tower. These fairies are looking to the future. And this Fairies of the Future card, she has her eyes closed. So kind of a progression on from this, where they can't see which way to go. This fairy, she's pregnant with possibility. You couldn't manifest from here. She's got a bun in the oven, and she's about to bring forth. You've got the tower. So some tower happened to tear down the old paradigm, whatever that was for you. And I'm sure it was extremely painful, and that you needed to go into some sort of incubation. You probably needed to do a lot of like self-soothing, and probably one day at a time, because these things don't happen overnight. There could have been an eruption of emotion. There could have been like Rome could have literally burnt down, whatever that means for you. And you learned to find your heart, to feed again. You learned to find your heart in the chaos. I'm seeing very much the stillness after the chaos and the tower. These two are giving me stillness and just really nurturing yourself. I feel like you did a lot of work, not only on your inner child, but potentially on your root chakra, sacral chakra, and a lot of healing. And this just opened up the doorway for this beautiful future. And you're surrounded by your guides. Absolutely. And the mushrooms and toadstools are giving me home and nourishment as well. So you've got all this light that's been coming at you, and it helped bring down the tower that needed to come down. Now you're able to manifest from here. You're listening to Spirit. You've got the Knight of Swords. You're working with Spirit. You're hearing the messages, but you've had to learn to manifest from a place with a discernment. You know, I mean, you're not afraid of hard work. In fact, you probably really enjoy it and like it. And you understand that you don't need to work alone. There's your work that you have to do, obviously, also, but you're in community and you want your community. You've got community. Over here, you're all alone, and I feel like this is you split. Head versus heart maybe, but over here you've got consensus. You're masculine and feminine, lovely, really well integrated and balanced, and you're poised, like you're sitting on the books. You've gained this innate wisdom that's come up through you. And I feel like through your body, because I really feel like that there was something in your body that was potentially attacked, and definitely behaviorally, psychologically, yes. Torment, probably bullying, probably isolation, and being kind of looked at as a freak a bit. I'm so sorry, pile number 2. But you end in victory. It's so beautiful. Whatever work you did in this interim that you did, whether it was just slowing down and allowing yourself to connect with your own heart, your own heart, your own spirit guides, your own codes. The codes that you had, you weren't able to act on them because your body was in fight or flight all the time in the past. And now, I think also nature is hugely important for you. You've got nature here, 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 here. Being out in nature will be very nourishing for you. And also water is important for you. So nature and water, because here there's no water, the river's dry. Here, the fire and the water together, so that's steam engine. So I'm seeing you really being able to alchemize the energy. And here you are, victorious. I am so happy for you. If you feel like sharing, if that's something that you want to do, please feel free to do so. If not, congratulations. It's amazing work that you've done, pile number 2. I'm really happy for you. It's hard work and it's good work. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you in another reading. I'm going to leave it there, pile number 2, and I'm going to move on to pile number 3. Thank you so much. Bye. Okay. Pile number 3. You had the Bloodstone Jasper Angel. So the energy that you're coming from, we have the Balancer, number 1. 7 of Pentacles. The Lovers. We had the Lovers in pile 1. Wheel of Fortune. And the 5 of Cups. We had the 5 of Cups last. Pile 2 as well. The energy that you're moving into. The Shadow. 6 of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. Ace of Wands. And 4 of Swords. Okay, I'm already getting a picture. Let's have a quick look at your cards. Initiation. Deep trust. Deep healing. Reconnection with all. So beautiful. And you've got the Whale. Creation, unique expression, flow of creation, joyfulness. Okay. And you've also got healing is happening. You're not broken. Trust the process. And your final oracle card is the fairy who was kissed by the pixies. Aww. I love that. Number 21. Okay. Pile number 3. Pile number 3. I feel like in the past, you were a hard worker and you had a really balancing kind of energy for those around you. However, I feel like a lot of people were pulling on your energy. See how she's down on the ground and she's low down to the ground. She's got her black and red witchy tights on. She's got sacred symbols on her body. So I feel like you're very powerful. And I'm getting Raven Crow vibes. And the Raven Crow is typically an energy that can go between worlds. So I feel like you're probably very psychic and spiritual. And I feel like you have rites of passages to different timelines and realms. You may or may not be aware of it. It probably happens when you're sleeping, or when when your body tired and you don't even know your name. Sometimes, like when your defenses are low like that, your energy can do the things it does when you're not kind of trying to push something. You're just letting it happen. I feel like you worked really hard, but you may have not seen the results that you wanted. And I feel like you wanted a loving community environment around you. And I'm not so sure that you had that, because you've got the 5 of Cups, which is disappointment, grief, sometimes apathy, depression. I feel like at a point it became too much. And the people who were around you, even though they look like they might have been loving, maybe they didn't understand that they were not giving back to you. And then you had to make a decision to kind of pour into yourself, because I feel like it turned the wheel into the 5 of Cups for you. And I'm sure, I feel like I'm getting a feeling of like, how did this happen? Shock, don't understand. And you may not have been, it pushed you into an initiation. And I'm seeing these really spiritual colors. So you've got the gold around the whale. And the whale for me is a highly, highly, highly spiritual being. The whale is communicating with us constantly on a level that we don't even understand. And they're way off in the depths of the ocean. And I feel like that they're truly gifts from the heavens to help Mother Gaia and every creature and being on Mother Gaia, to support our well-being and our harmony with the light. So I pushed you into an initiation, and you had to learn to go deep and trust yourself, trust spirit. And in doing so, you kind of understood that unity principle in some visceral way. I'm feeling like it may not have been like your mind may not have grasped it, but on your energetic field, your energy, your vibration elevated in the depths to be able to express yourself and understand. Look, it's a face. I don't know if you can see that. It's a face. Like her eyes are glowing, but look at her third eye. And I'm saying her. And whether you're male or female, but in this, there's just something, it seems like a more littler face to me. And then it's like there's fire coming off, like light coming off of her crown chakra. So what you see, what you speak, what you see with your third eye, I feel like your channel, healing is happening. You're not broken. You were plunged into initiation of healing, deep healing. If you can see this card here, right at the center, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So your guides are around you. There's an even greater energy around here. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 10 acolytes here. So I feel your guides are around you, but I also feel like you're a guide to others. For sure. And your heart is a portal. And you are, I feel like you're connected to the Pleiadians. And you could be on some sort of, it's safe to soften. Isn't that so beautiful? You had to get away from whatever this was. And it might be a worldview, a way of thinking, a career, a relationship. Maybe it was how you were raised. It could be anything. And now you're comfortable with your shadow. And I'm seeing 2 and 3 is 5. So that's change. You've embraced your shadow. You've worked with spirits. Spirits come. And here's healing repeated again. So that's confirmed. So I feel like you were plunged into a place of healing. And you are healed. I'm feeling like you're very much on the road to healing. You're working on something. And I'm seeing green. This is reminding me of the heart chakra. So you're working on something that like matters to you. That's important to you. And you may not even know what that is yet. But I feel like if you talk to your inner child, you will have more of an idea of what that is. If you know what it is already, great, keep going. You're becoming the healer. And then you've got this book of wisdom up here. So you're being watched over by the guardian angels in your life. You're being watched over by your guides. I'm seeing all these feathers around as well. And feathers for me are very spiritual as well. So maybe you're seeing feathers. Maybe you should be looking out for feathers, as maybe that's how your guides communicate with you. They're very proud of you. I'm not seeing too much more. Well, 6 of Pentacles is also a card of being able to give. So I feel like over here, you were giving, but you weren't getting anything in return. But over here, you're able to give in a more healthy, balanced way where you're healed. And you know when you're driving a car, it's not like Abraham Hicks says this is, it's not like you get enlightenment and then you hang it up, you get a plaque and you hang it up on your wall. Hey, I'm healed. Hey, I'm enlightened. It's a constant, like we always have to pay attention to our healing. We always have to pay attention to our well-being. We always have to pay attention to what we're consuming, what thoughts, what we're focusing our energy on, what we're putting in our body, where we live. Like if we, I lived in the woods for a year, and I'm telling you, after a year just in this pristine air, like my health and wellness, like my body just felt so much better. And I know that's not feasible for everybody, but there are ways to give yourself whatever version of that is for you. So what I'm talking about is purifying the stuff that we're ingesting, the kinds of, I'm not going to get political, and I'm not going to get into what's going on in the media at this stage, but I feel like you've been really, really successful in going back to the simple things, going back to the basics. And over here, I mean, I just can't even get over this. This is you. You are, I mean, you're the life and soul of, you are the life and soul of just this beautiful community. Your guides are so proud of you. You're calling in your people. You're creative. You're fun loving. I'm getting super Venusian energy from you. It's Empress energy, so fertile, so beautiful, art. You're living according to your values because Venus rules over the arts, over truth, over the values. So you were brave enough to tell yourself the truth. You were brave enough to confront your shadow and look at your pain. And it's brought you to a place of just stunning beauty and just immense connection. This is reminding me of the white light. Just that pure white light that contains the blue light of Archangel Michael. I feel Archangel Michael has been with you really, really strong as a protector as you've been going through this. Also, Archangel Gabriel, I'm hearing. And you have had Divine Mother with you very strongly. Gaia and whatever deities speak to you, you've managed to really harmonize and balance your male and female energy in that you're able to accept what is and take the steps forward to create something that you want and love in your life. So beautiful, pile number 3. Absolutely stunning. I'm really, really happy for you. I would love to know where this is going for you, of course, only if you wanted to share. And I'm going to leave it there for you. Your message is complete. And I just pulled a card for you, and it's Rockstar by Lisa. You have become the rock star. You are the rock star in your own life. And then actually, I don't know, is singing a thing for you? Unique expression, flow of creation, joyfulness. Are you, and you know, it's the face and the throat. Are you a singer? Use your voice. That's coming through very strongly for you as well. And being seen. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there, pile number 3. Have a great rest of your day. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like my content. Bye.